Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, oh, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah.
I can think about a million reasons why you need to burn in hell. You're a liar and a cheater, a con artist telling tales. Been rejected, disrespected, boy, your abuse never fails. I'm so done, boy, really done, boy, now I'm staying to myself. I'm so stoic. 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 I'm so stoic.
Salutations, Dufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, talking to some amazing people from all around the world. It has been quite an experience. It's very enjoyable and fun. Having said this, I have someone right now that you need to meet. This young man is a certified Dallas, Texas personal trainer. He also is an in-person one-on-one trainer, and he also does online. He says, don't be shy, message him. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Darrien Harris, also known online as Driven by Darrien. Hi, Darrien. I
Hey,
had to
how's
get it
it
all
going?
out. I had to get it
No,
all
I
out.
like that.
Yeah, I
How
had
are
to give it
you?
all. Yeah, because so they go, okay, who's this? Who are we looking at?
Right.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I took the day off today just to, run a whole bunch of errands
Yeah.
and, kind of get, some stuff situated and just kind of be productive. So it's been a pretty good day.
Now, seeing
Yeah.
that you took the day off and your job is the gym, like how is that doing for your mental? Because I know if I miss a day, I'm like, oh my God, I missed a day. Oh
Yeah.
my God. How's that doing?
Okay, so in the past that would have driven me like crazy, but recently I just learned to like there's importance in like taking breaks and just regrouping and uh just kind of like being settled because like I think we're so well me, I know me, I would be the person who's always trying to be on all the time and then I'll get to a point where my body says, no, fuck you. You're finna like, can I curse on it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it's like fuck you, we're gonna go to sleep whether you like it or not, or we're gonna just shut down. So now it's like, I feel good. I feel, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad about that. I am like that with my work. Like I work, people say, really quickly, they say like, you leave a 9 to 5 and start your own business and you work 100 hours for yourself so you don't have to work 40 for someone else. But that's
Yeah.
incorrect as well. You work 25/8. I'm always
Right.
working. I have two computers, one that is the main computer and one that is in my bed that I sleep with. And they're both open and they're both on every day. And I'm making merchandise and doing all kinds of things. It's an entire thing. So it's very hard for me to leave it. Yeah, it's very
No, I
hard.
feel you.
Yeah, I haven't had a vacation in 7 years. Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm not praising that. I'm just
Okay.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's good that
Yeah.
you're getting to that point because if you don't listen to your body
Mm.
reacts. And it's like if you
Right.
listen to us, we're gonna make you listen. So
Yeah.
I definitely do know what that's like. So yeah.
Yeah. Are you the type like you'll take a vacation, but then your laptop or cell phone's gonna be like on the beach with you?
Yeah. And then I write
Yeah.
it off and then I write it off as a work vacation.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. Smart. Right.
it works. Yeah.
No, I
So
like that. I like that.
yeah, you gotta be smart, you gotta be savvy. So
Right. I mean, like whatever happens. Mhm.
whatever happened, go ahead, talk. You were saying
Oh no,
what?
I was just saying whatever. I was just saying whatever works or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am definitely a workaholic. I've been in the entertainment industry for 20 years
Mm-hmm.
and I started as a fashion model in Paris at 22. And
Okay.
I've had major setbacks, but I got over them. My resiliency was very high. And I just celebrated in September my 40th birthday.
Really? Okay. Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
thank you. So yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
yeah, I know. That's why
Oh, okay.
I know
Yeah.
to tell. So yeah, but I am learning, 40 is a different age, I started in my 30s to not care about what people thought about me.
Mhm.
And then when 40 hit, like the no fuck switch clicked all the way on.
Really?
Yeah, I get, I get, I get like my thing is I'm living my life. I'm doing what makes me happy. I'm fortunate enough to do it as my profession. It's what I love. And I could give a good goddamn about who don't like me.
Right.
Anytime.
That's honestly how, okay, so I turned 30 back in May.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And so the no fuck switch, like I felt that almost instantly as soon as I turned 30, because I tell people all the time, like, I actually don't miss my 20s like at all. So
No.
I was like, I no, not at all. I was like, because look, I'm black. We're gonna look the same for like the next 20, 30 years. So I'm like, it don't even matter, So, and it's like it's just so more of like a clarity. You feel like you understand things better. I don't know. There's just things that I used to care so much about that I just don't care. And I'm like, look, if that's gonna happen again in like 10 years when I turn 40, then great, because I enjoy it here a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna happen again, and it's gonna happen in a big way
yeah, hmm
because it's something about the 30s. When I turned 30, I remember when I turned 30, it started. And then
hmm
my career really blossomed. Like it was like I started to not care so much. So then I started to show the world more of who I was, With me, I've always been very effeminate, very androgynous.
hmm
Even in Paris, I had long hair and I was one of those you call them anti-models because it's like it's a boy, but it looks like a girl. So it's like
right.
anti-androgyny. And I fit right in. I really did. They were like, welcome, Paris, this is where you belong. And, I realized I was 22 then. So I was still in my 20s, still trying to figure things out. And
hmm
I realized even then that it wasn't exactly what I wanted. See, I had this terrible, terrible trouble with people telling me what to do. I have
hmm
I have and I mean a boss. I mean anyone. Like I have terrible trouble. And this is gonna sound so bad, but
hmm
I'm gonna say it. And I'm kicking myself, but I'm gonna say this.
Oh,
I
now I want to hear it.
Yes, I have terrible trouble, especially with people telling me what to do when they are not qualified to tell me what to do.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So
Yes.
that's why for me, even getting into fashion, I was an entrepreneur.
Right.
I
Really?
had to, yeah, because when you're in fashion, you're your own small business. You go to the
hmm
agency, you run and manage your career. You hire a manager or whatever, and it didn't get that to that point with me. I had to come home because it was just really, really stressful, and I thought that my career was over.
hmm
And then, the divine has a habit of closing one door to open several doors. I was prepared to just sign away my life and just walk, down a runway for the
Yeah.
rest of my life. And then, so many other talents that I didn't even know I had. I became a recording artist. I always sang, but never professionally.
Okay.
And then this switch came on and it was like I was writing my own music and co-producing it and it just so much. And then came the Queen of Shade, who
Mm.
she is why I'm going this way is because I'm introducing you to me, it's
Okay.
like, and then you're going to share. So it's like that because we're new to each other, and I want people to know that you're new to what I do, who I am, because I recently saw you online and was like, oh, I want to interview you, and you were great.
Okay. Yeah.
You said yes, but yeah, I knew you didn't know who the bitch was. Like, who is this bitch? Shit. So that's why I'm going this way,
hmm
but I started making music, and then the Queen of Shade was born, and she became more of an inspiration and a powerhouse for the underdog and for people that were different. And making sure the revolution was televised, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like all of those things. And 7 years ago I went viral, and that's why I sit here today doing what I do, and there's so many different facets to me. So now it's your turn. Are you from Texas?
Okay. Well, first, I like that story you just told and everything. Like, it's great to get to meet you because first I was like, wait, who is this? And first I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, why are they trying to like who am I? Why are they trying to interview me? I don't even, I'm really just a nobody on the internet with like a somewhat decent following. So I was like, well, thanks for seeking me out. But no, I'm originally from Louisiana. So it's a small town, Louisiana. It's called Arcadia. Uh, it's not even 3,000 people. It's more like 2,900. Small town. Moved to Dallas about back in 2017, and out here I've just been personal training and doing other stuff, and basically the period of like I moved when I was in the process of like honestly trying to find myself and trying to figure out who I was, and then I'm kind of right now getting to know like just figuring out who that person is.
Yeah.
Um, And it's, I like what you said about like one door closing because that's kind of what I'm going through
Mhm.
right now with so many aspects of my life.
Yeah.
Um, I'll get, but basically, yeah, like I had one door that closed. I was devastated about it.
Oh,
But yeah, so yeah.
happened.
So they, okay, so I used to be engaged
Okay.
and I was
Ooh,
engaged and we broke up back in October.
okay.
And, it was devastating because I'm like, I didn't want I don't want it to end, but um it's kind of like a thing of where like I felt even though I loved my ex fiance to death, everything, I do feel like that relationship was kind of holding me back and honestly holding him back as well. I
Yeah.
think we were just like too codependent. We were kind of like that couple that was like, okay, if you see one, you see the other one kind of
Right.
thing. And it being when we broke up and stuff like that, it kind of forced me to like it forced me to go outside my comfort zone with a lot of stuff to
Yeah.
like branch out to like look even like work on my own self to
Yeah.
figure out okay like what did I do, what did I contribute to any of this. So I call it like a blessing, honestly. Like I really really hate that I had to go through that, but at the
Yeah.
same time the person that I became after the fact and all the opportunities that opened itself, uh, I I'm so grateful for that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I completely get what you were talking about.
You
You know.
know, I want to tell you something very quickly.
Mhm.
Um, it's okay to still love him and still grow and become more of who you need to be.
Mhm.
I don't want you or anyone ever watching to think that it's not okay to still love the person because you were drawn to them for a reason. And I look at it as this way. You said codependency. I read a book a long time ago when I entered therapy, because I've been in therapy for 16 years, 16, almost 17.
Okay.
And they taught me a lot of things. And that's why I sit here as well. We'll get into that a little later. But codependency, I read that book. I know what that looks like. But
Mhm.
as far as you describing it as when you see one, you see the other, I want to
Mhm.
take you back to childhood. You remember that My Buddy doll?
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it just sounds like you found your buddy,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and those things are difficult. Those things are difficult. My life was a little different. I couldn't date, because I believe that romance without finance is a nuisance. So I didn't have the money to date. And I wasn't who I needed to be. I hadn't found myself. I hadn't solidified my career, and my career is paramount to me. That, like,
Mhm.
I'm a Libra. So I need my money to be right before
Right.
anything.
I'm a Taurus. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, you do get it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I needed my money to be right. And I just, even in August, just this past August, I celebrated 10 years of celibacy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. And I'm very proud of it, and I'm very thankful for it because I come from very humble beginnings. My
Mm,
family started in projects, and I got the opportunity to move to the suburbs, and that's why, after suburbs to go to college, and I had opportunities. I was afforded opportunities that my birth would have denied me.
right.
So, in being in both spectrums, there are certain things that matter to me. And
Mm,
I am a little, that Libras, we tend to be a little materialistic. I am in a good I am in a
mm,
good way. It's not, I don't need the glitz, I don't need the glamour. I need the support,
yes.
the foundation. I need that because I need to be able to stand on it and build up. I don't like to
Mm,
build down, but so I understand that relationships, they
yeah.
come and go. And I've had, for me, it's kind of ironic because I had my first boyfriend ever in life the end of June the 30th. I have known him 20 years. I promote
Wow.
from within. Yeah, I'm one of the
Yeah.
no new friends. I promote.
Yeah.
Yes, I promote from within.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was, um, we just, as we start, I'd known him for 20 years and we were friends, and
Mhm,
we think highly of each other. When it was time to actually take that step into a relationship,
mhm,
we didn't really know how that looked. We were two different people,
mhm,
and, celebrity,
mhm.
it impacts your relationship a lot, and
Yeah.
I was so happy and elated about the relationship that I announced it, and I did videos about it, and we talked about our new relationship, but we talked about the strength of how long we had known each other. And
Mhm,
then as we got into it, red flags started to come up. And like I said, it was I ended it. It was me.
yeah.
And like I said, that 40 was like, oh, I'm not even going to remotely entertain this. And he's a wonderful person. But
Right. Yeah. Like my ex I feel like is a wonderful person.
yes,
Like I think the thing is like we just had very strong
yes,
personalities, butt heads. Like I said, I'm nothing against him at all. Like it's very much it's all love.
yeah,
It to this day it still is. It's more so the things of like maybe we just weren't in the right we just probably weren't in the right headspace or like at the same time. But yeah, just want to throw that out there that we're all it's
yeah.
all love and good.
But you know what, too? It takes a lot to get to a point of engagement, especially for us. So it is definitely something.
Yeah.
It's definitely something. Because I was saying this to my son the last night. I was like, because he was going out, and I said to him, I said, what kind of mother? I said if your friends got a hold of your phone, they would think that your mother is the worst person on the planet, or not your typical mother. But I'm not. I'm a guy, so he
Mm,
calls me mom because of the persona. But
yeah.
he I said to him, I said, oh, have you gotten back from your dick appointment yet?
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm like, are you safe? I got him on prep, like I got him
Yeah.
taken care. And that's a whole nother story. But a lot of younger gays don't get that. I
That
didn't get
no.
that
We have to find out the hard. We have to find out the hard
the
way.
hard way.
And yeah,
Ah,
so
right.
we have to. It's like God, we through the trenches.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
But I do commend you for even sharing that with me. I stayed there a little longer because as a shaman, oracle, prophecy, or healer, and medium, and life coach and mentor, I kind of like to pad places where there might be weakness,
Okay.
pad places where there might be, and that's the thing, people think, especially with Black men, we're not
Mm,
allowed to show emotion. It doesn't matter if
right.
you're straight or gay or, whatever. It is frowned upon for us to talk
Definitely.
about our hurts,
And it's like and so I have an interesting experience with that. So I didn't so it wasn't until I maybe was like a teenager or like maybe in my late teens, early 20s
Mhm.
is when I found out that that was a taboo.
Yeah.
Only because my dad, he shows his emotions, like he expresses emotions,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's also this guy who I've seen bench press 400 pounds, like no
Yeah.
problem. This
Yeah.
big masculine guy.
Yeah.
So I always looked at him like, hey, he had a great balance, as in like, yeah, he shows his emotions, but at the same time, he's a leader. He's, strong, assertive,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, okay, so it's in my mind, I was like, okay, yeah, men can show their emotions and not be thought of weak. And then I was like, once I got out in the world and more experience, like, okay, so this actually isn't a. So I'm looked at as weird, or as like I'm overly emotional, or just like friendlier than most. When to me, it's just like it's kind of more how I was brought up because I'm to be a little bit more not too emotional, but like there's a time and a place. But to be emotional intelligence was always taught to me from a
Yeah.
young age. Yeah.
It's so I liked how you told that because you could still see it because you're out in the world now and you said, oh, emotional, but not too emotional. Like you see how you prefaced it. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that emotional intelligence is something that
Yeah.
you experienced.
Yeah.
I experienced it as well. I was a
Hmm.
very like I said, I have a very sordid past. I have a very
Hmm.
sordid past. And, my grandmother was the one who, I disbelieve that a Black woman can't teach you how to be a man because
Hmm. Yeah.
I look like this, outside of this. See, I'm a transvestite, so let's get that out of the way. I'm a transvestite.
Yeah.
I cross dress. I've always cross dressed since I was 8 years old, and
All right.
I didn't know that something that I love to do in private was going to
Mhm.
bring me so much attention and success, and I
Oh,
started.
just 1 second.
Mhm.
So what do you prefer? Before we get, what was your preferred pronouns? Because I was like a
Um,
little.
get this. Everybody asks me. My preferred pronoun is queen.
Okay, Queen.
It's
Okay,
queen.
so Queen and Quan, Queen and Queen. Okay, okay.
Just
I
queen.
can feel. I can. Okay, just Queen. Just Queen. All right.
But get this. I allow people the leeway, and I tell people my pronoun is queen. But
Okay.
and I mainly say that for the public, for
Hmm.
those people that don't know me. But most
Hmm.
people, like you're getting to know me right now. Most people, when I'm like this, and people don't
Hmm.
understand that some people are really rigid about pronouns. When I'm like
Hmm.
this, it fits what she fits.
Yeah.
She
Because
fits.
sometimes I just want to be sure. Because I have some people. I know some friends that do. Who dress just like you and do that, but they still prefer like he, him,
Yeah.
and other ones. So it's just like, just want to, because there were times when I'm like, I want to naturally just say she, her.
Yeah.
I'm like, make sure that's like, let me just say, make sure that's the right thing to. All right,
You,
good.
you know, I think, okay, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get in trouble again.
Hmm. Oh boy.
I now get this. I respect pronouns and I think they're important, but I
Hmm.
don't think they're so important or as important as we've made them when we still have young gay youth on the streets.
That is true.
When we still have homeless gays, okay, without provision, without centers where they can go and be safe and not have to turn tricks for money or a place to stay. I think that when in terms of that, we're I don't care what they call
Mm.
themselves. What I care is they're not going home or putting themselves at risk for disease and anything else because they need a place to stay because their family turned their backs on them. So
Yeah.
pronouns to me are important, but not
Mm.
as important as homing, rehoming gay youth. Like
Right.
there's certain things on my checklist that just I'm like, ah. So I tell
You kind
people,
of like priorities or like
yes,
priorities, like once this is solved, then we can focus on this, but there's like a
yes.
list of things. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Because
No,
my
I
thing,
get it. I get it.
like, because get this, pronouns are super important. They help
Yeah.
your identity. They announce your identity to the world.
Mm.
I get that. But if you're busy announcing your identity to the world all of the time, when are you finding the time to be the identity that you're announcing?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Okay. If you're busy announcing it constantly, when do you have time to actually be it? You're so,
And being it as far as
especially with as the LGBT community is, we are, because we are the way that we are, and we've been discriminated on so much. We younger, I'll say younger, not us, because I don't have that, and you at 30 don't have it either. But it's like the need to see me, validate me.
right,
Say it's okay, be it's okay. Our community is doing that. Pick me.
right.
Oh, and it's like I
Because we
just
have like a, I get, because I guess it's like you have a history of just growing up and not feeling
yeah,
validated or not feeling,
yeah.
even with me, I growing up, even now, most people don't know I am gay unless I actually tell them.
That's why I wait.
And
That's why I wait.
yeah.
Because when you
And
said
even
Beyonce, I said I gotta let him say it because I can't say it. I
right.
can't. Like I'm just like
No,
I
you're
can't ask. Like no.
no, you're good. You're good. So even with that part, I always felt like less than because I'm like, I know what I am, and I still don't feel validated as far as like I feel. Is this something about like feeling like okay, I know that I can do all this work. I can be I'm the straight A student, the star athlete. This is what I'm thinking about my mind.
Yeah.
I'm all this great stuff, but if I come out as gay to these people, I'll be the guy who has like five baby mamas with like seven kids and was a
Yeah.
bum. He'll still be seen as
More
above me or get
valuable.
more respect.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like I always felt that. If like I felt like the real me would be like reduced to just like my sexuality, which isn't even a bad thing, but but that was my mindset growing up. Luckily, my surrounding people around me, my friends and family were way more supportive than I thought.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like undoing those negative thoughts and negative self talk that I always used to be like, you're not good enough, or because like when you do that to yourself over time, it kind of becomes like real thoughts in your head, and you
Yes.
start believing it, even though it's maybe not true.
hmm
But
Yeah. But what's so funny? You're very masculine presenting. I'm very feminine presenting. So imagine me outside of this.
yeah,
I have a bald head, and I can go to a store with my bald head and open my
mm,
mouth, and people will be looking me in my face and still call me she.
really,
Yes. So but I was a model. Body is different.
yeah,
Taller, longer, slender, tiny
mm.
waist, even at 40, like
Body is snatched. I will say that.
thank you. Thank you.
No, for
And
real.
get it, I haven't worked out in a really long time because I had to build my business, and I let
Uh,
that hobby go because I was like, I need to do that. But I worked out for 15 years, of my life. So yeah, but I like now things are getting back to where I can like kind of get back into my hobbies and get back in shape because I have to be in shape to sing. I'm a singer as well, recording artist. So I have to really be at my tip top shape to be able to record because I have projects coming up.
yeah.
So, but yeah, like people with me being very feminine presenting, it was hard. It was really
No, I
hard.
can understand.
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
I know. I can definitely understand. Like, because I was saying, like, my situation was like, I would definitely say milder,
hmm
definitely way on the bar still than like someone who's growing up. Because I was there, like, my school. I might not sound like it, but my school and environment was majority black.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, okay, yeah, if you're, a black male and you don't fit like, if you don't feel like the certain molds,
Yep.
it's like you might as well have like a third eye
Yep.
or
Or the
something,
scarlet
especially
letter.
in the South. Yeah, and it's like you're like, because I was not only was like that, like because I had to make sure like okay, I got to stay in line because I say one wrong thing, or my voice, especially was like more higher pitched and like really, really
hmm
like I'm like, these guys gonna get on me all day.
hmm
Like if I just like they're gonna be mocking my voice or something like that, or yeah, I can get that. I can only imagine like for you or a feminine gay man, that's probably that times like 10.
It was times a million. my
Oh,
my
yeah.
family moved me out of the city to save my life. They were going to kill me. Yeah,
Ooh.
and I was only 10. I was
And it's
only.
like, why
I
does
had,
that even
I had
bother you?
grown
Like,
men.
why does that even bother
Grown men.
people?
I had grown men attacking me.
Really? And I was like, why? Like, what is that hurting you? You know, like why does
Let me say something that a lot of people skirt around the issue of and do not say. Black people do not like gay people. Period. Black
yeah,
people do not like gay people. They don't want to admit it. Oh no, I have an uncle. No, Black people do not. Like you said, you can turn around and come out as gay, and the man with 6 kids, not taking care of none of them, living with his mama, he gets more validation and praise than you do. And
yeah,
you could be the gay, like you are, personal trainer, the gay, entrepreneur, and they still don't see you as, valid. Or I remember this. Because I have 2 grandmothers. I have both of my grandmothers are alive.
mm,
So my grandmother on my dad's side, I didn't grow up with her because on
mm,
this side, my grandmother's an educator. And
mm,
we, even in the Black community, we spoke a certain way. She taught us lessons. We were very articulate. And it was something coming from the hood. See, it wasn't an
mm.
affluent Black community. We were starting from the bottom as a family. So I didn't really know them and get along with them because they were way more hood. Like when we went around
Yeah.
them to visit, it was like we were like in danger. Like it was really crazy. So I
Mm.
didn't really hang around them a lot. I remember I went for one Thanksgiving and they roasted me at the table and expected me to, like, they making all these gay jokes and everybody's laughing. All my cousins who I've never met, all these big football playing cousins and all of this stuff, which was kind of
Right.
crazy. But they're asking me, oh, why don't you come back with jokes? Why don't you come back with jokes? I'm 12. And my grandmother taught me
Right.
to talk to adults like that. You know,
Yeah.
so I say that because my grandmother on that side, I decided that I would never see her again in life. And that was in 2005 because
Oh, wow.
I was on my way to, I keep my promises. I'm a Libra. I keep my promises.
Mm.
So yes, and especially if you wrong me, I will make you pay for it forever.
Mm.
I'm just that way. And it's not that I will bring about your demise, but I will suck all of my light out of your life. I will remove me because I understand I'm a joy.
Right. Yeah.
So I will totally suck out all my light. You may still have light, but you won't have my light in the room. So I remember what made me make that decision that I would never see her again as long as she lived was that one of my friends lived in the area and he stopped by to say hello because I was in the area. And he was living with his grandmother and I was visiting, and my father lived with his mother, mental illness. I'll get to that. Mental
Mm.
illness. So turns around, he was living in the house, and all he did was see my friend walk up and sit on, they had patio furniture. I sat out there. We sat out there and talked. Basically, my father was like, when my friend left, he's like, oh, is that your boyfriend? Is that your man? And my grandmother came to my defense and then wounded me even deeper than my father had done. She said to him, leave that boy alone, let him be him. And then looks at me and says, baby, I don't care if you fuck a dog, you'll still be my grandson. And I looked at her and I said, you liken my life to a dog? My sex
Mm.
and my right to love the way that I love is likened to a dog? And I looked at her and I said, okay. And I've never spoken to her again. She's requested me. My whole family, they request, especially now that how should we say, I have a name,
Mm.
but listen, I've been estranged from them since 2005
Mm.
because even then I was one of those people. I remember one of my friends that I was living with when I was homeless, because I got thrown out because I was gay.
Mm.
And she said to me, I was talking to her about it, and she said, I understand you. You just wish that it wouldn't matter. Like I was so talented, so
Mm.
astute, brilliant.
Mm.
IQ is so high, and yet everybody couldn't get past to long arms, long legs, the voice, and that was always the thing. Even
Right.
when I moved to the suburbs, I was still being picked on, not physically bullied, but
Mm.
emotionally and verbally bullied because of the sound of
Yeah.
my voice, the sound of my voice. It was something that I came to dislike and distrust because it was
Yeah.
like, I don't want this. And it was not that I didn't like it. It was that it
Mm.
so much pain and so much anxiety and so much attention, negative attention, that I was just like, no. Fast forward today, I'm 40 years old and I'm a mezzo soprano.
Mm-hmm.
I can sing down. And the thing is, the thing that I was most hated for has brought me my greatest glory. Even when I sit and do this, even when I'm online and I make my 60-second inspiration videos, people will tell me, your voice, your voice, your voice. So
It's,
that's why I have deemed myself the $1 billion voice, because
I like that.
my entire empire literally is built on my voice.
Your voice.
Mhm.
And that's honestly that's very similar. I wouldn't say like I would say mine's to a smaller scale because okay, so like I said, I'm from a small town in Louisiana and typical kind of country accent and I would get like I said, made me shy because I would get picked on because it's my voice and how I sounded. And it's like it's nothing worse because it's kind of like these are your people that look like you and you want to be accepted by them.
Yes.
And it's like people make these crazy accusations about you just make crazy accusations about me being like oh, you must only like to hang around white folks, or you must only do
Oh,
this. I'm like, no, no, I want to be here. Like, I
yeah.
like this is my honest. I know this is my culture, everything like that. I just sound like this, or I just feel.
Yeah.
But and it's kind of like so I just think I just didn't want to speak, or I was very like soft spoken, or try to draw as little attention to myself as possible. Now growing up, I realized, I like the way I speak, and I don't even care whatever people, to an extent. I enjoy being me,
Yeah.
and I'm at a point where, I feel like me as a person is enough, and if you don't like it, you just whatever. And if you do like it, we can have a good time, and yeah,
But get this.
but. Mhm.
Yes. Keep going. Keep going.
I mean, I know, and then once you get to that point to
Yes.
where you love yourself and you're completely comfortable in your own skin,
Yes.
it's to other people who aren't at that point yet, you will come off as too into yourself or narcissistic or up your own ass. But I'm like, I build other people up all the time. I'm
Yep.
just because I don't tear myself down. You guys ignore how many times I compliment you guys, or I'm always trying to build people up. Be like, hey, you should do this, or like for example, like if someone's outfit isn't that's what their opinion is, I'm like, okay, on outfit, I'll be like, okay, this doesn't work, but why don't you try this? If I don't like it, I'll give you a solution.
Yeah.
To make you like I want people. Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm not all about me. I'm all about my friends and family, and I'm all about elevating them as well because I'm at that point in my life where I'm comfortable. I want other people to be that way that I care about too.
It's
So,
so crazy. Like, and it's it's sad because in my life, the darkest, deepest wounds that I ever received were not from white people. They were from
really,
my own. They were from my own.
no, I
I went to college and they bullied me. They bullied me so badly. I had people
mm,
say to me, why are your teeth so white? Or why don't you curse? Because you're just too astute for us. And at a time in my life, I was coming from nothing. I was really trying to get in, fit in. I would adjust, I would adapt. But guess what?
yeah,
It was at the cost and the price of myself. I
right,
ended up having a manic episode. It literally triggered my bipolar disorder that I did not know was hereditary in me for the
mm,
first time. I had to be medically withdrawn from college. And guess what? Those Black people, they
mhm,
tricked me. They did that.
yeah,
And then when I was gone and everybody heard, it was like, I was people sent word that, they held these kind of like think tanks with the Black populace, trying to
mm,
figure out why they didn't see that I was ill or what had happened. And I'm like,
mhm,
isn't that interesting? Because I didn't like myself and became suicidal because of you guys. I tried to
right.
I tried to pledge a fraternity. Being gay, they were trying to kill me.
Oh yeah,
They were trying to make sure I would never cross
I think we just have like a lot of
my people. My
And
people.
that's the thing. So you know how like people that we care about elicit a stronger emotional response.
Yeah.
Because like when I see black people, I just always there's always a sense of like I'm the type of person like okay, I don't mind being in a room with anybody, you know, like I can be with any race or whatever. But you know, every time like you're like say you're in a room of white people and you see like this one black person come in, like you know, you're like, oh, what's up? Oh,
I know the
you
feeling.
know, you know the feeling like, oh shit, someone else in here. I'm like, it's cool, but you know, I can be the only black person in the room, but I don't prefer it, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, my people, right? And so that's how I feel about black people in general. So it's kind of like when you're kind of like getting that kind of you know abuse or like that bullying from people that you feel like are you
Yeah.
or like are your own, it hurt. It cuts even deeper
Yeah.
because it's like you love these people as a whole and you just want to be accepted and you just want to be a part of it because I want to be just a part of it. And then it's kind of like I think it hurts you a little deeper because in a way you feel like you just don't belong anywhere,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Yeah.
Except it makes all the sense. And you know what I realized? You know what I had to realize? Because I liked what you said earlier. You were talking and you said, you know, I big them up and I'm there for them and I'm not into myself and I'm not just into myself. I'm not pompous. I'm not arrogant. I'm not pious. And you know, people get this. I've had 16 years of therapy for this
Mhm.
mental health reasons because I live with bipolar type 1, PTSD, and acute anxiety disorder. And it was a lot. It was passed hereditarily to me. The
Mhm.
PTSD came from my childhood. It was crazy. So, you know, but the acute anxiety also from my childhood and college and my people, you know,
Yeah.
those things happened. But in my 16 years of therapy, I would say that the closest person I have ever gotten to that is so close to me now is me. And let me tell you something. I am completely okay with being by myself. I actually seek out being by myself. I actually do. Because the crazy thing is, once you master who you are, the party is with you. So anytime you go anywhere and you open your mouth, they recognize the party is with you and they want you to stay because now you're sure of yourself. Now, nothing that they say can harm you or hurt you. And they find that to be appealing. They find that, oh wow, he's impenetrable. He's confident beyond belief. This is not something that Black people are in this country. You know, we're always
Right.
afterthought. So when you walk around,
Right.
you don't care what nationality, race, color, creed, nothing. You're gonna be yourself and you're not gonna make any excuses or get in anybody's way. You just gonna keep doing, or you really just gonna like I've had people say to me, you just gonna walk by me? Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything to me. It did
Right.
greet me. You didn't greet me. So I'm gonna walk by you. Like
That
that's
makes yeah.
yes. You know, I find that it's so crazy because the more I did get into myself and find myself and undo and suck the venom out of every single wound, the more they want to be around me. Right
Yeah.
now, I am more of I'm what my therapist calls an introverted extrovert. I enjoy
Yeah.
myself, but I'm also an entertainer. But
Right.
I will do what I have to do and I don't need to be seen. Like that's the thing. And that's why I'm so glad it happened later in life for me because I'm not a
Mhm.
fan for it. Well, not anymore. When I was younger, I want get it.
Yeah.
When I was younger, 20, 21, 22, I wanted fame because I wanted to throw it in the faces of all those people that had bullied me and to say, look,
Yeah.
the world sees me as somebody. You know, I'm something. Well, now at 40, I'm like, keep y'all can keep that over there
Yeah.
because I don't need it to be any more
Because you're
difficult.
at peace.
Yeah, I'm at peace. And what I find is now, like I said, I'll go places and they trying to get me to stay. Oh, you
Mhm.
leaving? And I always do that. If I pop up somewhere, I'm not staying. I will come
Yeah.
and literally show my face and exit the back door. I don't need to,
Yeah.
I'll even go through in the back. Like people say, oh, that's so celebrity. No, it's not. I will go through the back door. I don't need to be seen. I know who I am. And so do you. I know
Yeah.
who I am. And so do you. You know my value. And I think that's what got born in my career. Like
Mhm.
when I recognized my value and started to show it and live it and be it, everybody else recognized it. I haven't had a single person that has ever come across me in the social media world or in life. You know, my content, 70 million people a year see my
Mhm.
content. In 2018, I had 21 million likes. I was awarded my blue check. I didn't even have to apply. And, you know, I didn't
Okay.
have management. I didn't have all these other things that actors and models and singers get. And, you know, all the handlers that help them. Oh, we'll get your page verified. I didn't have all of that. They saw how hard I worked and said, oh, you've been verified. I woke up to it.
Yeah.
I was screaming and crying. I'm like, oh my God, you know, but
Yeah.
I say all that to say when you recognize the value in yourself, everybody else will too.
And that's something I've been trying to even seeing right now, where like I was, coming in Dallas, moving from Dallas from a small town.
Yeah.
My ex before my last one, my ex, we're
Yeah.
actually really good, really good friends now because we realize we're way better friends. But
Yeah.
he's I always call him like a somewhat of a socialite because he's like very in the mix and
Yeah.
he has a lot of things going. And like I was just thrusted into like this. I just was like, oh, I'm not used to any of this at all.
Right.
I'm from like it's so different, and so I did kind of get caught up in trying to like please all these people or trying to be, not rock the boat. Even like, I've learned this thing called like acts of self betrayal, where you're just, basically what I was doing was doing things that I might not have been with, or like going along with things that isn't my like a value to me, just so I could, not rock the boat or not be an issue,
Yeah.
and that really wasn't getting me like where I wanted to
Yeah.
be. But once I started like being inward, like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on myself and be around the people I want to be around, and like be very inward and selective with my energy. That's when it's kind of like it started happening to where I'm like I'm getting a lot more attention, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't really want that attention like that, because even like for example on Twitter, this is like so weird to me because like I deleted my Twitter, and it started a new one back in like April.
Okay.
And then I never, April of like 2021. And I didn't even use it until like maybe after like a month or so after my breakup. I
Okay.
had 90, I had 90, just 90 followers.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have like 30, now I have 33,000.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, and it's mostly, and honestly, that was me just being like myself 100%. I was honestly, I just needed like an outlet for like all the stress, and I was just being like super funny and very like just being like a thirst trap here or there, and then like
Yeah.
being funny. But then like people seem to like my sense of humor on there, so I'm like it just kept going and going. And I'm like, wow, so this is me being myself 100%,
Yes.
and people like that. And the fake version of myself that wasn't even true to me, people didn't gravitate to that as much because so that's kind of like the lesson I just learned through all of that,
You know,
and just being like myself.
there I heard a motivational clip and he said, you know how they say real recognizes real?
Yeah,
Well, real recognizes fake as well.
right. Nope.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
You
and I heard something too about like people that are, I guess, in the very highly intelligent, or
uh-huh.
like so you have a high IQ, and all that kind of
Uh-huh.
stuff. They're more likely to be single just because they don't settle, and I feel like that's. I like to think of myself as an intelligent person, and like
Yeah.
there's things that I want that I just don't want to settle for. And
Mm-hmm.
people ask me, why are you like single? You're such a great guy. I'm like, thanks, but it's more so about like I want. It's more so I feel like it's more like I'm just more single by choice because I just don't want to. I know what I want out of a relationship, and so far no one has come along that can give me what I want. I'm willing to make compromises, but because relationships are about compromise. But I'm not even giving anything to compromise with, just because I'm like, you know,
The legendary
so,
Earth Kit. may her soul rest in peace. She gave an iconic synopsis of love and what it should be. She said, compromise. Why would I compromise? She said, love is earned because you're being you and you're being you and I'm being me. And we coexist. We don't compromise. She said, I very much so want someone to share me with me and vice versa. Like you said it. Now mind you, I clean up well. I do. I've been celibate for 10 years, but before that, I'm one of those people that has a hyper sex drive. So I was in the mix as well. Like I was enjoying being me. And it was a newfound freedom because I realized that even though I was effeminate, I didn't have to be a bottom. And, I was coming into myself as a feminine top, and it went to my head and I got buck wild and it was fun. It was fun. That's what it was. But I also realized, like what you just said, I think the behavior, I will never apologize for my behavior, because even in my rendezvous, hookups, and ships passing in the night, I gave and showed me. When I spoke to the person that I was with or talking to, they saw the light. They saw my value. To the point where a lot of them would say, please call me again. Please, they wanted to. And I realized that and I was like, okay, this is supposed to be, because it was kind of like revenge. It was like, I didn't want to be a hookup. I wanted a relationship, romance, Libras love romance. And then I'm thrust into this world as an adult after college, and everybody's it's fast. It's speed dating and straight to the sheets. So then finally, when I figure out where I belong and I'm doing it too, everybody wants me to be romantic. Everybody wants me to everybody wants me to wait for them. And my attitude was, well, wait a minute.
That went for me.
Yeah, I'm like, I just figured this out. I got how speed dating goes. I got how hookups go. Why are y'all telling me, oh, I'm mad at you because you never called me again? I thought that was the way it was done.
I know, because I feel that, because it's like, that was my thing. Like I'm a Taurus. Like, I mean, Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus. We have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
I would say, like, I'm kind of a romantic. So I'm like, I like relationships and stuff like that. And then I got to the point to where, okay, whatever, I'm just going to have fun and date around and stuff like that. Now, and I'm like, oh, now you guys want relationships and shit like that. And now you're trying to, when I was over here trying to be, Mr. Romantic and all that kind of stuff, it was like, not.
It's so weird because the world has been conditioned. When you want them, they don't want you. And vice versa.
Now when I want someone, I just pretend to be a fuckboy.
Yes!
I'm like, I act like I got other dudes, but it's really just you.
Yes!
Really I'm just pretending.
He said, I'm just going to pretend. And, it's so crazy because, like, my ex-boyfriend, and it's so weird to say that because I have one ex. I had one boyfriend. I got one ex-boyfriend now. He was right for me in a lot of ways. Especially the aptitude. That aptitude. Oh, I love a good mind fuck. I love a good mind fuck. And he was that. Like, because I love the way he looked at me. And I love the way he processed me. He really got me. Like, he understood me to a T. But it just, and honestly, I will attribute it to, he had some things happen in his life. And, when you have traumas and things like that, they change and alter your behavior. So I really felt like at the time that I made it known to him that I was interested in him, he had some traumas hit his life, and his normal behavior, what he normally was, he wasn't 100% himself. He was trying to deal with traumas and the response of that. And then, because he even started therapy for it.
Right.
So I think, and I said to him, I think I made a mistake. I told him, like, because I was very expressive. I'm the type of person where I don't want to argue with you, especially at 40. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to raise my voice at you. I'm here to love you. You're here to love me. We don't need each other to pay each other's bills. Not at all. So it should be nothing but fun, 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 because literally I'm not moving in with you.
Mm.
I'm not giving up my life. You're not giving up your life. It should always
Right.
be the honeymoon phase. It's always going to be the honeymoon phase because literally, I'm not moving in with you. You're not moving in with me. I'm going to do my world stuff and travel all over and then run in and see you and love you and enjoy that and leave you with memories until I come again.
Mm.
No pun intended. But,
Yeah.
you know, and it just,
Yeah.
he was with that. He was with that.
Mhm.
He could be that man. He was very much so my
Mhm.
equal. But I think that the trauma, and
Trauma,
sometimes it just
because
spoils.
I'm dealing, because sometimes I feel with that with my ex fiance. That's why a lot of times I'm just patient
Yeah,
because right now he's so we're a part of a almost because he was newer to the city than I am.
yeah,
So I introduced him to a lot of people,
yeah.
and we're a part of almost all of our friend groups almost identical that we're a part of.
Right.
Like so, he's been through a lot of trauma,
Yeah,
even like stuff that I hear about. I'm like, gosh, that is a lot, you know.
yeah,
And I get that altering. So even things where I'm like, I don't know what I did. So it's more like me understanding, like just being patient
yeah,
because some of the things that I know, I'm like, God, that's a lot for someone to go with, and I'm sorry, to go through in
yeah,
such a short period of time. Like I was going through stuff after, but that stuff is a lot. So it's more so like, okay, this person isn't acting the same. I'm being patient. But I'm still gonna just back off and be cordial and stuff like that. But I do 100% believe, like to this day, that he's a good guy, beautiful soul.
yeah.
It's just when you go through shit. Even me, a while back, I was going through a lot. My personality just changed,
Changes.
and I thankfully I found my way back to who I was.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, like, you know, I'll never not root for him or just, I'll never be like, oh, he's an awful person or he's just this, you know. You know how you have your moments. Some days you're like, oh, my ex fucked it. No, you have those, but
yeah. We all do.
they never, they never last long. Like they
Nope.
never, I'm not like, and then at the end of the day, I just remember all of the good times and the good times outweigh the worst. And
Yeah.
overall, I just want the best, you know.
You know, son, I'm gonna do what I do.
Mm.
I said this on my page. The problem with people that go through trauma, and we all go through trauma. And the thing about it is, for blacks don't believe in therapy. They don't believe in therapy. We
Yeah.
carry everything. I've had 16 years of therapy straight, 16 straight years.
Right.
So I am going to say this. You couldn't make him happy because you didn't make him sad.
Oh, dang.
The trauma,
Yeah.
trauma is specific.
Hmm.
He's still mad at the people that traumatized him. And then you being there trying to offer him something new, he's not going to see the happiness. He's going to try because everybody wants to move on. But
Yeah.
trauma is debilitating. It took me so
Hmm.
long in my career to get to where I am now because trauma is debilitating.
Debilitating.
Yeah, debilitating. You can't move.
No. And me, I'm a Taurus. I love pleasure. So I'm like, oh no, I need this isn't gonna work. So give me to therapy as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So I was like,
But you know what? That's a good trait. But that's a good
I was,
trait.
yeah.
That's a great trait. Because even I was like, I don't need no therapy. Like when I first started,
No.
I ran from it because of what other
Mhm.
people said. Oh, we don't do that. We pray. We pray about it.
Yeah.
Go pray about it. Go, and it was so crazy because, and I tell people this because I have no regrets.
Mhm.
Trying to cope with my life at that time. I had the one summer where I slept with 85 men.
Ooh.
I was just running through the numbers.
High
Running
five.
through numbers. I mean, high five.
Um,
I get it. I was so burnt out afterwards that I went
no,
celibate
I
for
was
10
like,
years. Yeah, I went
yeah,
celibate. I didn't need it after that. I said,
no,
I don't need no more. I don't need
no.
no more.
Even even it's weird. Like, okay, with me, my thing was like, so I have a which you know it might was some of our issues. So when I get upset or frustrated, I have a very sharp tongue.
Yeah.
Like I have a look, well, I'll be good, but then and he would say that too. I'm like, yeah, I didn't have to go that hard.
Yeah.
So my thing was working on why I went to therapy is like when I'm upset with someone,
Yeah.
even my friends would say like, it's almost as if you forget we were actually friends and you just go hard. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, so my thing was like, and I really feel like that was another thing that contributed to like, my relationship failing. So I was like, okay, let me go back. I know he maybe even if he started the argument, I would like, I'm gonna finish it. Like, I don't want to be even. I want you to be like, I want to be up here because, like, how dare you like fight with me over this BS right here? And I would just take things way too far. And then a part of therapy was like controlling my anger, or like, well, not controlling it necessarily, like dealing with the problem of why I was so angry.
I was getting ready.
Or
I was getting ready to say to you that stems from your trauma and your past as well.
yeah,
That's where you developed it
and
because you had to be so sharp to those people that were bullying you.
that's the thing. So I have two of my really good friends that grew up. So the thing about my town is we're all clowns. Like everyone's super funny. I'm being very reserved right now, just
Yeah.
because just because. But the thing is, we say you have to get thick skin, or you're gonna be miserable because a small town, no one has anything to do really, but just like talk shit about everybody.
Right.
And me and my other friends, we were kind of like we were cool with everybody, but we were like different enough to where when it was time to pick on someone, they would kind of pick on us, like
Yeah.
me and these other two, girls I was familiar with.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize they were all going through at the same time because as adults, we're now really close friends,
Yeah.
and we talked about like how okay, for example, we're very cool and level headed, but then when we get upset, it's almost as if like it's just where the hell did this person come from?
You go to
And then we
DEFCON 4.
know
You go to
and
DEFCON
then we
4.
know and then we know how to exactly and then we know how to like take on multiple people at once.
Oh
Like
yes.
I can argue with 10 folks at one time. That's no
Yes.
problem. That's lightweight. Give me 20, I might break a
Right.
sweat. Because
Right.
that's what we were used to doing. We were used to having to
Right.
defend ourselves, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're all, and it's crazy because out of all, we're all the ones who like I recently hung out with another one of my friends, and she's doing great for herself. I'm so proud of the person she's become. She's very much into like being motivational and like healing and working on herself, but also not giving up on her like spirit. As in, like she still is a generous person. She still doesn't want. It doesn't make her jaded.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that the fact of the matter of all three of us, we're at a point where we worked on the problems, with healing, but we didn't want to be jaded. We didn't want to like let circumstances turn us into awful people.
Yes.
And I feel like that can definitely happen if you go through something like that. So
Most people become bitter. Like my therapist says it all to me all the
mhm.
time. It's a wonder that I didn't become bitter with all that I went through because I had every reason to be. But I
Yeah.
didn't want to live like that. And besides, my soul, I'm like a wood sprite. Like I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very happy and light and jovial, but but
Mm-hmm.
I am the queen of shade.
So don't try me.
Yeah. When I first and get it, I was still going through therapy when I started the Queen of Shade 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The videos that I released, and they were only 15 seconds back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to a minute. Let me tell you something. I look at them videos. I definitely earned my title. I earned my title. It's so crazy because when people see that name, it's my trademark. When people see that name, they're like, what she want with me? Why is she talking to me? What she want?
Right.
I didn't do it. Because, people think of shade as, and it is, but with me discovering who I was and dealing with my trauma and doing the hard work, my shade became less of a slight to others and more of a tree shading you from the harsh rays of the sun and providing food. Like I grew into this, honey, though. But that's
so you're a reformed villain.
yes. But get it. But get it. I will always be a villain. I will.
Oh,
a villain. I will like I am not the hero. I'm not the hero.
I'm in my anti-hero right now. I'm an
Ah,
anti-hero
yes.
right now.
But you know
Because
what? So
like,
am I. That's what
yeah,
I really say. I'm an anti-hero.
I'll be that. Because I'm like, because my thing was, yeah, because for example, my thing is people call you Queen of Shade. Some of my friends call me King Clapback. Because I'm like
Ah,
always, because like I had to always do that. Like growing up, it's just so it's like I had to be like on
especially in a
because in
black
any given
environment.
moment,
Especially in a black
yeah,
environment. If you're not sharp, they will eat
if
you
you're
up.
not sharp, they will eat you
And
alive. And I
then
had to be
laugh at you for crying.
right. So I'm like, okay, so I can't fight all the time because among my friends, I've been in like the most fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna start using my words because once you got older, you kind of got
Yeah,
you
you
can't
guys
be
got
fighting
what
like
about
that.
jail and all that stuff.
Yeah, so you got to be a little bit more sneaky and learn how to.
Yeah, you
But
got it.
then, but then also I learned the value of kill them with indifference.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like if you just don't give anyone any energy,
yeah,
it is so much more infuriating than like a clapback.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
like, but listen to what we're doing though. All of these, what we're talking about, these are all mechanisms to help us get through life.
Yeah.
They're all ways for us to cope with treatment that we deem less favorable. So I'm going to go back to something you said earlier. I guard my energy like the plague. No one's around me.
Mhm.
No one. No one. I don't play.
Really?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
one. When I tell you, I realized, and this is the thing, being a villain, I
Mm-hmm.
realized that the nicest person
Mm-hmm.
can wound you. So I am very careful with friends. I am very careful. A lot of my friends that I had out there in the world are reduced to telephone calls and text messages.
And I
Because,
learned that the hard way.
yeah, like it's just, I just, and you know what it
I'm one
is?
of those.
Yeah,
What
go
is
ahead.
it?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like because I've grown up still. I was even now. I was always one of those people. I was always one of those people. I'm so sorry. I'm getting tongue tied.
No, go ahead. Take it.
Always one of those people that were like, "Hey, I'm friends with everybody. Oh, this is my
Yeah,
friend. This is my friend." I'm very much my baseline
yeah,
personality is like a happy, open, happy-go-lucky kind of guy who wants, like that. But I learned I have to be selective with that. So I have certain friends that I keep at arm's length. They're
yep,
good to turn up to party, and
yep,
that's all we do. And I have like a small circle of friends that are just my super, super close. Something
yeah,
about me is to where like people think I'm open, but I'm not really. As in, like, I'll talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's kind of like surface level to where you think you're getting a lot out of me, but you're really not. It's like stuff I wouldn't care if it got out. But then I'm like, oh, he's just open. He's just friendly about everybody. He's an open book. I'm like, not really, but whatever.
yeah.
But then, but then they think they're close, but not really. But then, like, I have my close friends. Like, there's really very few people outside my family that like will that I let get behind those walls like that.
You know what?
So, yeah,
So we have a lot in common, and it really is to protect yourself. It's to protect
it
yourself.
is.
But get this, like I said, 70 million people a year watch my videos all over the internet. And do you know, I talk a lot. I was voted most talkative in my high school class of
Mm-hmm.
2000, most talkative. And I didn't even know that my class paid attention to anything I said. It was
Yeah.
a shock. It was a shock. Um, I too had to learn the hard way that you can't be everybody's friend because at one point, one girl gonna say to you, "What that girl say about me? What that bitch say about me?" And then you're stuck,
Hmm.
and then you tell, and then they both come to you and want to fight you because you told. I used to,
Right.
I used to get in trouble. It's like I had to learn real quick. Like, no, you go ask that bitch what she said about her. I had to
Right.
learn
That's
that.
not my
I
place.
told her, yeah, because I was getting
Yeah.
fucked up. I was getting fucked up in high school and college that way. I was getting fucked up. Like what that bitch say that you tell, and then no, no, now no, bitch, you go ask that bitch what she said.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's so crazy. I forgot where I was going with that, but everything that we do is to kind of make sure we get through life. easily,
Hmm.
you know, and you don't want to, and I realize you can't be everybody's friend, but that's where I was going with it.
Hmm.
Like I was saying, people watch my stuff, they see me. I'm always speaking and I speak deeply. It is nothing for me to speak deeply. I don't like surface conversations. I speak deeply. Everything in my soul vibrates when I'm talking. But get this, they don't know my favorite food. No one. My favorite food, my actual favorite color,
Hmm.
my favorite movie, what I like to do that no one know. Like they don't know those really intimate things about me. And I've spoken my way
Yeah.
into fame and notoriety, and they don't know those things.
So it's weird because one of my friends that I've known since I want to say since maybe like 2011, 2012. So a
Mm-hmm.
long time. We met in like we were in college.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and he was like recently just this year he told me like, "Hey, I feel like I know you, like you speak a lot and you're very open and we always have a good time, but I still there's something that I feel like there's something deeper with you that I just can't figure out, that I just can't get
Uh-huh.
in."
Yeah.
And I didn't really realize that because I'm thinking like I see him, I'm always friendly, I'm always talking, I'm always doing all this, but he's very intuitive,
Yep.
and he just like, yeah, I feel like there's just more, but you're just not letting me in. I'm like, that is
Uh,
true.
yeah.
That is, I'm like, okay, well,
Like,
and
oh,
he said like, yeah,
that trick ain't working so good today.
yeah, I was like, but it's just because like I think because I've known him for so long, and we live in two different cities, so
Yeah.
it's not like we just hang out all the time. Like if we lived in like the same city and we're on the regular, we talk on a regular basis, it would be different. But yeah, I mean that does make sense. Like it's kind of like I guess when I interact with people, I talk about me, but then I also focus more on the person too to keep them talking. And
Yeah.
people love talking about themselves. They love people love. So my thing was like so I learned like a while back, um, just to be more because I do have resting bitch face sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And just to be like more open to people, like always take interest in them and like ask them about stuff. And then that way you really don't talk about yourself either because people like talking about themselves. And then I think that's kind of where a lot of like me coming off as more open and more like open book and than I really am, honestly.
Before
Yeah.
I had the therapy, I was very good at hiding my pain, the pain of what I was suffering at home, and
Hmm.
I suffered for years. It was years. It wasn't even just like 1 month or things like that. It was for years, and the trauma was so great, but I was used to masking it. And it's so crazy because once I did the therapy and did the work on myself, I'm estranged from most of my family because they're
Yeah.
that way and I'm not that way. If you offend me, I'm going to tell you. I'm
Right.
not to hide.
So did you did you mask it also because like that wasn't a part of your identity?
Um,
If
I
that makes sense.
I masked it because I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed and angry that I even had
Mhm.
to go through it. But it was like you said, people going through trauma. It was more than one person could bear.
Right.
I was going and eventually after high school going into college, second year, it all came to a head. It all
Yeah,
came
and it just
to a
comes
head.
out. It's
Yeah.
always gonna come out
And
if
then
you
it
don't deal with it.
started. I literally I couldn't control it. I couldn't
With
control.
me, yeah, same with me. So with me, a big issue was with that was because it wasn't a part of the identity that I had like people had thrown onto me and
Yeah.
that I had accumulated for myself, which was the person who's always cool, calm, and collected. He's always happy. He's always funny. You know, that was kind of like the chill
Yeah.
guy, whatever. And so that kind of like made me not want to, because I latched on, I liked that persona of me. So it was like, I don't want to do anything to disrupt that. So it would come to me like now not expressing how I really felt or just like trying to keep the peace or just kind of burying it deep. But then when it would finally come out, because like I said, it always comes out, it came out in the most explosive ways. Someone would do something small and it would trigger me. And then not only am I mad about that small thing they did, I'm mad about this other thing that they did like 2 weeks ago, 3 years ago.
Yep.
Someone else in the room did something to me, and I'm like, well, he's here, might as well give him the business too. So matter
Wow.
of fact, so I'm like, while I'm at it, you know damn well that cheesecake in that fridge was not yours, but you ate it fucking anyway. I said it was okay, but it wasn't really. I was fucking hungry. Yeah,
I'm so
yeah. So
mad.
yeah, because that's how it
No, but
is.
but get it. That's what
Yeah.
happens
Hmm.
when you bottle up your pain.
Yeah, I
I
had to learn to stop doing that.
Yeah, listen, I express myself now. If you offend me, I'm going to say, "Oh, you really hurt my feelings."
Feelings,
And
and
get
I'm
it.
telling you now,
But
so you
listen,
don't get it
I got
worse down the
shade with
road.
but listen, I got shade with mine. I'll say,
Mhm.
"You really hurt my feelings and I don't know what I want to do about it right yet, but I'll keep you posted."
I'm gonna
And
use that.
that's when the shade come through because they like, "Oh shit." Because I
Yeah,
don't know what I'm going to do, but I need to, and I let them know I need to do something.
right.
And then I leave it there. And I find that kind of like, people are afraid of me. People are afraid
Right.
of me. They are
I
afraid
mean,
of me.
and you're
But
probably not, and you're probably not even gonna do anything. You're just gonna let them sit with
no.
that
But the thing
fear.
is, but you know what the thing is? I'm going to have a conversation with them and pinpoint
Mhm.
where they hurt.
Yeah,
Most people don't like to hear when they're wrong.
right.
They
And
can't
that was
take
my issue too.
Yeah, they can't take that. And my
Yeah.
thing is, see, in my relationship, like my grandmother is my rock. So we're really close. So I can hear when I'm wrong because she
Hmm.
taught me to be that way. My attitude is I need to know that I'm wrong so I can fix it and make the adjustment. Because if
Right.
I don't fix it, it'll cost me money. And that's a problem. Like so I'm about I can't have something that is unattended because in my business of entertainment, if you leave something unattended, you just lost millions of dollars simply because
Right.
you didn't do the smallest
No,
detail.
listen.
The small
And
detail.
also me, I'm a Taurus, so I know like we hate being wrong. So
Yeah.
I had to like I like how you said that because I had to reword it to work on myself because it's like, okay, let me know what I did wrong so that if I know that I did something wrong, if I correct it, that'll make me that much closer to a better version of myself. So that makes it like less hard to like digest being wrong.
But do you
Because
know,
like I said,
do
hmm?
you know also sometimes you're not wrong? Sometimes it's not you, it's the other person.
Oh yeah, oh trust me. If I know I'm right about it, like you
Oh
don't know, but
Lord.
sometimes
Don't get me started on if I know I'm right.
okay,
You'll
if I
never
know,
hear the end of it. You'll never hear the end of it. You'll never hear the end
no,
of it. I've learned to just kind of smile now. I just smile.
yeah,
And then when they
yeah.
come to me and it has the outcome that I told them that it would if they
Mm-hmm,
did it and it was bad, I just
mm-hmm,
smile. I just say, I've
mm-hmm.
learned to just do that. And I get that from my grandmother. She's like,
Yeah,
I told like I don't get into the I told you. No, because I've learned to let people nurse their wounds. I don't
right,
go in on the wound. You scraped your knee. I told you it was gonna happen. So I'm not gonna throw the salt in the wound. I've learned to just kind of smile and leave it alone
yeah,
because literally, listen, human beings are way more intuitive and intellectual than they give themselves credit for.
mm-hmm.
They know. They know.
They
They
know.
know you told them, and it went the way that you said it was gonna
So
go.
you ain't gotta tell them. You
You
ain't
ain't
gotta tell
gotta
them. They know.
tell them. You ain't gotta tell
Yeah,
them. You ain't gotta tell them. They know. They know.
yeah.
And they want to
And they
see
just come.
how long you're gonna drag them down through the mud because they didn't
Yeah,
listen to you. And I don't do it. That's the one thing I just
yeah.
don't do. I'm just like,
Because then next time they'll be more open to
yeah.
taking your advice and stuff
And
like
it's
that.
so
Yeah.
funny
So.
because then they'll ask me something else, and I look at them, and then they know from the look. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like my look is like, are you gonna listen or are you
Listen,
gonna do your thing again?
I
you know,
had
and that's the look
oh,
I get.
I had that experience one time when I was like 20. It was like it basically it's a funny story, but not okay. So basically, one of my really really good friends, right?
Uh-huh.
I told him about well, we've mended the friendship since then. Like we're like really good, but we met, and I told him like about my ex,
Yeah,
my first boyfriend I ever had,
yeah.
and we broke up. It was like 2 years afterwards, and so he knew what it was, and he still decided to like. The guy asked him out, and he still tried dating him. Right, my very first heartbreak. So look,
And he was your
me
friend and he
trying.
tried to date him?
Yes, I'm like, okay, whatever. Then like he even showed me like pictures of them two together at one point. I'm like, okay, fine, don't go off. And then I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna say just be careful because he's really not. This guy really isn't shit at all.
And he's not your friend.
Yeah. So I told that guy he wasn't my friend. I mean, I told that guy how. Okay, sure. Okay, I told you. All right, whatever. And then later on that night, like right when I told him that, later on that night, he's calling me like crying and like not like distraught because basically he went over to another friend's house of his and he came there and he saw the guy, my ex, sitting on his couch. And they were just like clearly not there to just like, just watch TV and chill. He was there. Mhm.
Right.
And then I was like, dude, I mean, I told you he wasn't before you even got involved. Like, don't even. And then,
Why would
and
you
also,
date my ex? Why
I
would
know.
you do
And then
that?
I told him, look, I'm sorry. Then like, we're just not, and also we're not friends anymore for this either. Like, I'm sorry you lost this guy, but you also lost me too because like
No,
I can't get with someone like it's like you just really. I'm not
that's
gonna lie,
that's
that hurt.
the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
2 years later, he reached out. He apologized for he apologized then, but he apologized again, and we've been good ever since. Like
You know what?
he's
I don't think I just realized something about myself. I don't think I'm as
uh,
I don't think I'm as forgiving. I'm
it
not
was a
as
row. It was a row. Like he was at arm's length for like a minute,
no,
but
you get it.
yeah.
Get this, get this. I believe that people evolve.
hmm
I believe that people grow.
hmm
People changing. I only can go on me. I can say it for me. I am
hmm
the same person I've been all my life.
Really.
I may have changed out a part, changed in a part, put in a
hmm
different fuse, took that one out. I may have screwed in another light bulb, a different color,
hmm
but I am like literally, I am the same person I always was. And it's crazy because when my following comes to me, because my actual anniversary of the Queen of Shade is New Year's Day. My
hmm
was in the hospital when she named me Queen of Shade on New Year's Day. So I am the same. Like I tell people for New Year's resolution, they ask me, what's next? What's coming next? And I say, more Queen of Shade. What you expect? You expect me to announce all these big, huge things? No. Like you're not enough people believe that they are right from the beginning. I can
Really.
believe that I need to grow. I can believe
hmm
that I need to evolve, change. I do not.
Really.
No. And
I would
every
say
motivational speaker says, "Oh, you got to change. You got to change." No, I'm not.
no.
Listen, I don't care what new house you put on that foundation. That
Mm.
foundation is in that ground. I don't care what you may have torn down the old house. That
Yeah.
foundation, even if you try to support that foundation, it's still the
hmm
same foundation. Because get this, if you remove every plank of wood, the
hmm
hole is still there. The
Right.
hole where it belongs is still there. If you replace everything, the foundation, the house, everything, the hole
Oh, it's
is
still there.
still there. What you talking about? And the address is still the same.
It is.
Okay, like,
I
great.
feel like me, the essence of I am, the essence of who I am has always been the same.
Mhm.
Um, just growing up, like seeing me as a kid, and now like the essence of like someone who's generally more like a sunny disposition or kind of like want to be friends with everybody. That's kind of the same. I feel like that's true and not true for me. I feel like the person I am 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, is so different to who I am now. I can't explain it. Like the
Well,
essence of who I
a
am
lot
is
of
the
people
same,
say that.
but
You're right. A lot of people say
yeah,
that. But the same, listen, see, it was different.
yeah,
It was different for me because even at 22 in Paris, manic as hell, mentally
mm,
ill, not in the doctors, not under a doctor's care, under psychiatrist care, not taking medication, acting
mm,
out and having all kinds of behavioral outbursts and doing the most wildest things that put my life in danger and jeopardy.
mm,
I was still being me.
mm,
So there are things that I was doing. Like it's so crazy because people don't understand, especially with bipolar disorder type 1, you get a lot of energy. So
yeah.
the things that I was doing in Paris that were out of bounds and out of control, I now do in front of a camera for the world to watch.
Well,
The only thing
I
that
mean, yeah,
the only thing that changed was it was repurposed. It was
yeah.
repurposed. It was recycled. Now I do it and now it makes sense. It didn't make sense
Yeah,
then. It makes sense now. I'm one of those people where big hands, big feet. I grew into them.
yeah.
Them hands are still the same.
Same.
People get on me all the time. I lifted weight for 16 years. They're like, oh, she don't wear nails. These are man's hands. These
Right.
are man's hands. And let me tell you something. Don't get on my nerves because you don't want to test them.
Right.
Hands do a lot. Don't listen. I
How
lifted
tall
weight.
are you, Mass?
I'm 5'11". I'm
Oh, okay.
5'11". Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
5'11". And my thing is,
You got
you
some reach.
grow into who you are. You
Yeah.
don't change. Your personality, get this, even in my life where I became better, different parts of my personality were unlocked that I didn't even know were there. But it's still
That's yeah. Yeah.
still me. I can have all kinds of revelations and all kinds of statements. Like today, like my videos for today, my 60-second videos today, I blew the roof off this room because I was just going off. But
Yeah.
and it was in a motivational way. Like I can have all kinds of great epiphanies, but they're happening through me. Same boy, same
Yeah.
boy, same boy. And that's the thing that people so much, and I find that the world is in such a race to change. So if you're in such a race to change, when do you ever accept who you are and work on yourself? Listen,
Right.
everybody's not a good dribbler. Do they go cut their hands off and get new hands to dribble a basketball?
No, they find something else they can do. Maybe they're a good
Find
drawer.
something else to do, or
Yeah.
they practice, but it's still the same two hands. It's still the same 2 feet. If a person can't dance, they don't go cutting off their feet and getting surgically new feet because they can't dance. They either practice or they don't dance.
Right.
That's how I look at it. But these hands and these feet, same. This brain, same. Same. But I have, and get it, even over 16 years of therapy, I learned tools to deal with this person right here,
True.
to keep this person safe right here, to process and heal faster from trauma and heartache. This person learned those things. I didn't get a new person. Like it
Because you can't. Yeah.
You can't. Like
You gotta yeah.
it can be good and it can be bad because I have an uncle and I don't care how much he says he changed. I always sit back and I'm like, leopards don't change their spots. And then something happens and he shows the him that we know him to be. And I said, and I look like, see, you fell for the rope. And I think that's why you don't like me because I can see you. I can see you. He used to say bad things. I have a friend named Lawrence who's a hairstylist. And Lawrence had to come back to me and apologize to me and say, I'm so sorry because I treated you wrong because your uncle put a lot of thoughts in my head about you. And now me knowing you, I know that it wasn't you.
I have a lot of I have a lot of situations like that.
And my thing
So
is,
yeah,
and get it. And we're only 8 years apart. So I watch him hurt person after person, and I don't say nothing. Because I'm like,
no,
listen, you should have your intuition. You should be in tune with yourself so that you recognize what's really going on here. It's not my job to run around and be your siren. Warning.
right.
No. So I sit and I wait. And so many of those people came back to me. Oh, he did this to me and he did that to me. And this has happened and that happened. And I'm like, I said, because I'm we got into an argument where it got physical when I was 19 years old before I got put out of my house. My uncle looked me in my face and slapped me and told
Ooh,
me I'd never be anything. Now, mind you, I was 19 years old. I wasn't having it. We started fighting. And my grandmother jumped in the way. And I tried to push my grandmother out of the way to get to him. And my grandmother's reaction, don't push me. Don't push me. You listen to me. Like she was trying to safeguard me. And I was trying to get at him. And I said one thing about him that was true. And he went in the kitchen and he cried. And I'm not telling what it was, but that was my thing. I learned, and I'm the Queen of Shade today because I learned, baby, I don't have to lie on you. I don't have to lie on anyone. I
no,
can destroy you with the truth. This light will obliterate you because you are going to be you. I'm going to be me. And this light is going to shine on your insecurities, on everything. I don't have to lie on you. Why do I have to lie? I don't even lie. Like, get this. I'll lie. Somebody will call me. Oh, what you doing? Working? Because I don't want to talk to them. I tell lies.
yeah,
I don't want to talk.
yeah.
But when it comes to things about people and things like that,
No, I've
my
never felt the need
business
to
is
lie on
shut.
someone.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I don't have to do that. So my thing is, and I learned it from my grandmother. We're both Libras. We're the only two Libras in the family. I will let
Yeah.
you hang yourself. I will let you hang yourself.
Yeah.
I will
That's
let you hang
because like me and my grandma are the only two Tauruses in my family, and me and her are
Uh-huh.
kind of like and we have very similar. I'm learning a lot of things that I do with my grandma does. She's very much of a. My grandma is a combination of like. Ever watch Golden Girls?
Yep. I love the Golden Girls.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So
I'm
she's
black.
like. Okay. Okay. I'm like a Blanche in my group, but I'll let you be Blanche right now. I'll be she is Rose. She's kind of like Rose, but
Uh-huh.
like imagine a combination of Rose with some Blanche
Yeah.
in
Oh, but
there.
you know what?
Maybe
But you don't want to make Rose angry. You remember you
exactly.
like because she was the
Oh yeah.
nicest person. She was the
Mhm.
nicest person. You don't want to make Rose angry. And that stands for you too.
Yeah.
Stands for me too. You don't. You don't. Not,
And
it's
she's
not
very
good.
much she has a very pleasant demeanor. I always
Yep.
feel like a sense of calmness when I'm around her. Even like I was going through something like maybe like a few years ago, and
Yep.
just her being around made me almost cry because like
Yeah.
this is peace I haven't felt in a
In a
while.
long time.
And she has this way of like I like how she does like she's very much also a kill them with kindness or kill them with indifference.
Yeah.
Like I've seen her like if someone is trying to get on her, like I've seen like that, she has a way of kind of like dismissing you.
Yep.
It's not really ugly, but it's a way it makes you feel like, okay, I'm the dumb one here.
Yep.
And I'm like, I haven't mastered that just yet, but how she does
Will.
it is just like
Will.
she just like me
You
and like
will.
don't even break a sweat, don't even really
You will. No, because and I love that. Me and my grandmother are inseparable. She's 75. She
mm-hmm.
just turned 75 in October. I turned 40 in
Oh, okay.
September. And I tell her all the time, we're the odd couple because we do everything together. She is my best friend. She's the only mother I've ever known because both my mother and my father abandoned me. And
Mm-hmm.
she took me up and she has had me. And honestly, she's the reason I have a career and don't have to work for nobody. Grandma gave me her whole retirement and said, baby, I believe in you. She said, I believe in you. She said to me
That's
today,
great.
she said, you know what infuriated me about the rest of your family? I said, what? She said, they laughed at you in your lowest points of being sick and ill. They laughed at you. She said, and I realized then that they didn't care whether you lived or died. She said, and I had a problem with that because you're mine. She said that today, this morning,
Oh.
as we were going to get her insulin. And it was just like, and I love my grandmother so much. And I recently was talking about, being so hyper vigilant because she was the only one who ever helped me that I was just so hyper vigilant, watching her health, watching everything. But I realized my grandmother passed generational wealth to me, not just the money, but also the knowledge of how to keep it and maintain it, my business, everything. And I realized one day my grandmother will leave me, but I'm not going to crawl into the grave with her. I'm not going to shut down and break down. I'm going to go on to show her that her investments weren't in vain, spiritually, mentally, financially, emotionally. People, I love it because, people say this all the time. You got to be careful in the world because people will play in your face. They will play in your face. My grandmother, get this, when I got with my boyfriend, my grandmother saw the video because I didn't even tell her. She saw the video and she watched the whole hour special. And she was like, I'm jealous. And I said, why? She said, because you finally found someone to love you and be with you for your life. And she said, I'm 75 years old and I never found that. And then what happened? Then Then the morning that we had that argument and I decided what I was going to do, because I didn't listen, I immediately went into I went into DEFCON 4 mode. I was like, listen, we're gonna tie this up in a bow. I didn't even tell him. I didn't break up with him. He found out through the video like everybody else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I went and had coffee with her because I was up with him until 3, 4 in the morning. Then I called my best friend in Texas and was like, I'm breaking up with my boyfriend. My best friend was like, oh no, call me right now because y'all work so good together. And my best friend's on the phone and he's talking to me and he's talking to me. And I'm like, and then he realized, he's like, you didn't call me to talk you out of it. I was like, no, I made my decision. I said, when I get off the phone with you, I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to make the world announcement. And he was like, God damn. But I went and sat with my grandmother and she said to me, she said, I'm proud of you. And I looked at her. She said, because you didn't stay in it to save face. You weren't embarrassed. And because you made such a happy, jubilant announcement about it, you didn't stay in it and endure something that you felt was like you said, self-betrayal. And I didn't. As soon as I was like, nope. Because my attitude, that's what happens to me now. I'm 40. If it don't fit, fuck it. I'm not mad. I'm not. That's my say. I just pick it up. If it don't fit, fuck it. Like that's it. Like I have gone through so much in my life and I have put in so much work on this same person, not a new person, that I'm anything that doesn't serve me. I'm just like, I learned, because I was abandoned by my mother and father, I had that throughout my life. It was that don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me syndrome. But turning 40, it was like, now I'm with me. So I don't care. Like I'm pushing. It's not even that I'm pushing people away. I just give them reins. I don't hold on to them. If you come here, you come here. And everybody wants to come here. Everybody. When I tell you I get invitations to come here and go do this, that, they got to have my money right. I don't just show easy. So, but for the most part, because everybody wants to be around you. But my therapist said something to me and it made a world of sense. When you conquer you and you learn to live with you and you master you and you are a light, you're going to attract a lot of broken people. Not just the good people, not just that, because the people that are repaired, because everybody gets broken. So the people that are repaired, they're too busy living their lives and handling their businesses. You're going to attract a lot of broken people who need the light that you're offering. So that's why the Queen of Shade brand is so successful. I have friends from Hollywood on down, and it's just because, they're friends, but they're really acquaintances. I don't really go anywhere. I don't really hang out. I don't hang out because in my job, that shamanism is a part of what I do. I have to be clear so I can hear and deliver messages, because people are always like, for 7 years, I've delivered message after message and I'm never off. They're like, oh my God, what you said, it meant so much and it spoke to me. There's a level of focus that I have now that I didn't have before. Right. So I don't go places, but It's just like, listen, I understand, like I said earlier, I am the
Mm.
party. Everybody wants entrance to this party. Everybody. So because everybody wants entrance to this party, nobody's getting in. Nobody's getting in.
Yeah. Truthfully.
Nobody's getting in. Because also that drives my price up. I'm a commodity.
Right.
Everybody, everybody. When I tell you, people are clamoring to get me. I've turned down so many things because they just weren't right for my brand. It
Right.
wasn't true to who I was. So I've turned down so many things and offers and this and that. And my attitude, and they look at me and they're like, you're crazy. This is so much money. This is more money than you'll ever make. And I'm like, no, not according to my accountant and my lawyer.
Yeah.
All I have to do is keep on going. I may not have made my millions today, but my millions are on par to come to me. And I'm gonna make every single damn dollar. And I'm not gonna have to ask you for permission to go to take a vacation or to, I'm gonna live my life. And that's what so many people are so all in all about me with, because I'm not looking to be a part of Hollywood. This is not
Right.
this is not leverage for me. This is my career. This is the show. This is the PR resistance. This is it. I'm doing this. I always wanted a career on the internet. You can make a lot of money on the internet. I haven't made a lot now, but it's coming. It's
Right.
coming. And that's the thing. And because of my grandmother, I can just sit back and wait. See, everybody else can't do that because they don't have somebody to cover their overhead. They don't have a benefactor, but they also have to understand that I have a benefactor because of the mental illness. That's how she entered my life, to assist me. I wasn't able to do what everybody else was doing mentally, physically, emotionally. I wasn't able to do that. Then through therapy, my doctors and psychiatrists said, you're a talent. Maybe you should start doing this, that, and the other. We feel that it would be cathartic for you and it would also help you heal. This whole thing was to help me heal, and it just took off. It took off.
That's what Twitter was.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, that was a point that was to help me heal. I wanted a space where I could be myself because there were times in that relationship I felt like I just couldn't be myself 100% authentic self.
Yeah.
And I have a certain that was just me just being 100% me, and it just took off, and never thought I would have that many followers on any kind of platform. I was like, bruh, I really have this, in the grand scheme of things, I know 33K isn't a lot, but it's a lot of growth in a year.
It is if one person knows who you are, that's a lot. Like I tell them all the time, that's 33,000 people that willingly come to you every day for what you're inspiring them with, you being yourself, authenticity. That's a lot. It's a lot. Literally, that's why even in my comment section, I always comment back. I
try to.
Yeah. Because I'm so grateful. I'm grateful.
Oh.
They didn't have to get with this show, They didn't have to get with who I was. They could have looked at me and said, oh, this bitch is too eccentric. And left it there and never got with me. But something in me and the way that I share and the way that I am, they like. And get it. A lot of people will write me and say, I want to be like you. And I tell them, baby, be you. But you can also pick up pieces and interchange them, change the fuses. But always
you take some of my stories as motivation.
Yes, that's what I do. And that's the thing, especially in this day and time, a lot of the internet is looking for substance. So a lot of people are getting shut out because they're being inauthentic. They're not true to the brand they made. It's so superficial. Right. Oh, did you see who's dating who? Oh, did you see what happened? Kanye this. Don't nobody want to hear about none of that. Right. Don't nobody want to hear about none of that. They want to hear, my day was hard today. I really thought about some things and I had to do some self-healing to my inner child. And this is how I did it. They want to hear it. They want to hear that. And that's what has kept me reigning for 7 years. And it'll continue to keep me.
And you should be very proud of yourself.
And you should be proud of yourself.
Well, thank you so much.
Be real quickly, because we didn't even talk about it. Tell me about this personal training job.
Oh.
Tell me about
All right, so I'm a personal trainer out here in Dallas. I've been doing that for 5 years. Well, 7 years, 5 years professionally here in Dallas. Okay. I'm because I'm in a transitional phase. I just got hired on at a hospital at UT Southwestern.
Okay.
So I'm kind of cutting down on my in-person clientele. Like right now, I guess I could fit at least like one or two more people in.
Hmm.
Um, but now I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on my online training
Yeah.
and, even,
Plans and stuff.
yeah. And now I'm starting to get into the process of trying to be more of like an online presence, like,
Yeah.
giving like, giving the influencer type.
Yeah.
Cause I've always kind of wanted to do that, but I'm like, okay, it's just me. What would I even do? Who would want to, the fear. And now I'm just going to go for it. And because I do like I am into photography
Yep.
and art and I draw too. So I'm like, I want to implement that and like maybe eventually once I get more materials, I would start like an artist page or like, but that's kind of like what my thing is right now. And I guess right now I'm in the process of rediscovering who I was because all of like 2020 to like the mid 2022 was
Yeah.
like a deconstruction of Darrien. I
Yeah.
feel like right now I'm more so like refining, like trying to like find what my passions are.
Yeah.
Well, I know what they are, but like revisiting them because before I was the fitness person or the guy who was a model, because I do model too.
Yes.
I was the artist. I was the one who was always drawing, writing like stories and books, and like even playing instruments because I played the trombone and the saxophone, a little bit of violin, just a little bit, but um, you know, some of those instruments. But now I want to revisit those.
Yeah.
Um, and if I can make a way to like put that in like an online presence or something like that, or just basically, I'm trying to find ways to branch out of doing what I love, but also making it like having more freedom to do what I want.
Yes.
Basically, using online to make a career out of it. I'm trying to explain it,
Get it.
but
I get it. I get it.
yeah.
I get it, Darrien, because I
Mhm.
did it. I did it. So I understand. I understand as
Yes.
you're trying to formulate it now. And I get it because I did
So
it.
you get it. Okay.
I get it. But let me offer you just some online social media coaching real quick. When
Hmm.
you incorporate your art, don't do a separate page.
Hmm.
So many people, they do a separate page for everything that they do. And then those
Hmm.
pages sit and don't get a lot of attention because those pages are cold. Because what happens is if you're just
Right.
posting pictures of your art, they don't know your character. And people, when they shop, they buy you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They don't buy the product, they buy you. So
The
my
training. Yeah. Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and get this,
They're buying me.
my advice to you is, even though you didn't ask me, um,
No, I appreciate it. I want it.
like when I started my page, I incorporated everything that I do into one page. So like I have this thing where I'll do a meme, I'll post a guy, then I'll do a meme, then I'll post an interview, I'll do a guy, then I'll post another interview. Like you structure it so that they can kind of get used to a pattern, knowing what's next from you, but you do it all on one page.
Hmm.
They told me on YouTube years ago, you do too much, you have too many things, you're not focused on one thing. Honey, I did everything. And today on my one page is all of them. I do everything. I do everything. Everything is there. Literally to the point where I offer a website, and my website is just everything. It's just everything I do. Merchandise. I have a podcast with 250 episodes. Like I do so much, and it's all there. And I tell them, pick your poison. Pick your poison. I
Whatever you
supply
want.
it. Whatever you get on this page, and because I made, like, through my website, I made my own like all-in-one link page because I was having some difficulty with the ones that I was making. So I said, you know what, I'll just make a page through my website and make it all in one link, and they can just go to everything. And that's what I did. I put it up in my bio. It's my website. You go there. And my website is my hub. It's where I want everyone to find me worldwide, to the point where I just snatched all my albums off of the streaming sites. Because I'm like, they were paying us pennies on the dollar, but charging customers $20 to have the service. Spotify, Apple Music,
Right.
all of these things. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sell each one of my songs through my site for $2. And right now, it's so crazy too, because it's mined. They like, it's so funny when people say, oh, because they look at me and they say, you're not mentally ill. I live with mental illness. It doesn't mean I'm mentally ill. I live with mental illness.
Right.
It's hereditary. But I said to myself, I said, I need to find a way that I can have my customer pay the $2 on my site and then not have to download a song. They need to be able to come back to the site and listen to it like it needs to be unlocked to them forever so that the site becomes a streaming service. So I'm looking into how to do that because it would set me back if I just offered MP4 downloads because everybody gets their music on their phone. So if you can open your browser on your phone and go to thequeenofshade.com and stream the music right there that you've paid for, you don't have to download nothing. It's easy again because people want convenience. They don't have time to be going. It would force them to have to go to the computer again. And though we use computers, ain't nobody trying to go back when they could just go to a streaming site that they're paying for, mind you, and stream whatever they want. Yeah. Only problem is the artists aren't being paid. And I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
No, I'm not for you.
Listen, it has been amazing. We really, like, I'm the only one that interviews like this because they're really just conversations. This is my own style. I invented it. We just talk. So I like
it.
Oh, you do? I have had an amazing time.
I was a little nervous because I'm like, who am I? What am I? I'm just so random. Who am
I? Wait, who am I? And who am I to tell her that I am?
Right. I was like, okay, little old me. Okay, we'll see.
And it was amazing.
I enjoyed it. It was so great. I had a good time.
So it was so good. So get it. Here comes the trivia part of the interview. Give me 3 words that inspire and empower you today.
Oh, 3 words that empower me today. I would say drive. Drive. Ooh. Hold on. Hammer brain part. All right. Okay. I got this because I'm okay. Let's see. 3 words. Well, I would say drive, perseverance. God, those are synonyms. So it's like the same thing.
No, go ahead.
Okay. And drive, perseverance, and faith.
Yeah.
I've actually those feel right.
Yeah.
Because it's been a lot of no, actually I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna say perseverance, resilience, and faith.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
You know, I heard resilience floating in the air, so I knew that was coming out. I heard Before I let you go, I'm gonna tell everybody where they can find you and you'll give me your socials and stuff. But I want to ask you one more question before we go because it just piqued my interest as we were talking. What are you going to be doing at the hospital?
Oh, so I'm gonna be a patient transporter. Okay. So the guys basically
EMT, like the ambulance.
No, it's gonna be basically kind of like just let's say a patient needs to be wheeled somewhere or picked up, or
they have to go for like a CAT scan or X-rays.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a big part of the thing is someone who is they prefer someone who's like kind of physically fit because we've been moving people all day,
right?
And personality wise, people are pretty comfortable around me, so. With that, and also it's a job with like being a personal trainer, you don't have benefits like that. So it's a job with like full on benefits, and I get my weekends back, and I'm like, it's a nice paying job. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm just like, So I'm really excited about that, and now I have time to focus on my other passions and my other stuff that I can, like the internet stuff, and it's I'm just really excited about it.
You're going to go far with everything you do because you are highly intelligent. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I see it. I told you I'm a shaman. I see you going far. I see your ventures being successes. So that's a good thing. So, okay. Tell everybody where they can find you online.
Okay. On Instagram, my Instagram is driven by Darrien. Just one word, driven and by DRIVEN. Ivenby, Darrien, Darrien.
Yeah.
And on Twitter, it is Deehay, Deehaye underscore.
Okay.
Um, and if you and then like my name on there is like Remy LeBeau, like Gambit from the X-Men. But
Nice.
that's where to find me. Yeah.
Nice. So you're Gambit. That's kind of funny. My thing is Jean Grey as the Phoenix. That's what.
Really, those are my favorite. So Gambit's one of my favorite X-Men because he's from Louisiana and I'm from Louisiana, and like I have him tattooed on my arm. I can see him just
Wow, look at that.
like
Let's
Gambit
go into this
and
camera.
Magnolias.
Let me see.
Let me see. So I don't know if you can see it, but that's his face and all that. And
Oh,
there's
I
like
do see
magnolia
him up
flowers.
there. I see him up there. Yeah, I did see him
Yeah,
up there. Look at
it's
us. We
it's
getting
more
real
apparent in
comfortable.
person.
We getting real comfortable. Look at this. Look at us all
Yeah.
there. We're friends now.
Eventually, I want to add like in a sleeve and have like Rogue on the bottom too somehow.
Yeah,
But we'll get there.
yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think about Keke Palmer playing Rogue?
Oh, I posted on my story. Like, wait, is she really going to, or is just like still a
I
rumor?
don't know. I
Or
would love it. I would.
like,
She'd be perfect
like,
for it.
I think she would definitely be perfect for the role. Like the attitude she has is she
Yep.
has a very like as a rogue is like strong, but she's also like sassy and flirty, but also like
Yeah.
funny and like witty and just Key Palmer. I would love to see that because I feel like she would be very much like what I don't know. I just like that version of Rogue. Like I don't really care about the emo or the moody angsty Rogue that was
Yeah.
in the movies.
Yeah.
Even the actress herself didn't even want that Rogue, but
Oh,
I think she would.
I'm
What
mad
she
she let
said,
that
like
be
she pushed
known. I'm
it.
mad she let that be known.
She said, like Anna Paquin said, I would have preferred, I wanted Rogue to do more to be more like the comic
Uh,
genre, but
well, get this
yeah, but
get it
mhm,
before we go.
mhm.
I have a Marvel comic story for you.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
Get this. In
Mhm,
and this is all it happened, so I don't have to say allegedly. I have the paperwork, my lawyer does too.
mhm.
Marvel tried to steal my trademark, the Queen of Shade. They created a
Wait,
they created their first ever drag queen character named Shade.
yeah, Shade.
Yeah, and get this. Per my cease and desist letter, they changed her name to Dark Veil and they had to change her likeness. They stole it. They tried to steal it from me. Well, not them, but the designer tried to steal my trademark.
Yeah, because
Yeah, my
I
lawyer.
remember. Well, I know who Shade is.
Yeah, yeah. We
Oh
shut
shit! Oh, wait a
yeah,
minute.
yeah, we shut yeah, I'm bigger than you think. I'm bigger than you think.
Oh, wait a minute. Not you in my universe. I even know
Yeah,
about that.
I know, yeah. I had to tell you when you said Marvel. Yeah, they wrote
Oh,
me.
wait a minute, because I
They
love Marvel.
responded because Marvel is owned by Disney. So Disney responded to my lawyer
Mm.
and everything, and they said, "Listen, we apologize. We did not know about the Queen of Shade, but it is what it is. We're changing the character's likeness because literally, I had pictures of me, and I literally had on a green wig. I had fans, like I had everything, and yeah." So that's my little Marvel story with
Oh, you
Disney.
better.
I was about to get a and get
That's
this.
crazy.
My lawyer said, "Why didn't you wait? Why didn't you wait? Because you could have got millions of dollars." But I said to him, "I don't want to be a sue queen. I work for my money. I don't want to just make it
Right. Okay.
somebody. But if they try that shit again, or anybody tries that shit again,
Right.
I'll sue them. I will wait and sue them
Right.
all the money." But I said that because there was a blog that I forget what it was. I think I saw it on my computer. I want to say the source. It was on the internet. I don't remember the source, but get this. What they were saying was Kanye West is under fire and about to get in hot water, allegedly, because there are two Black guys that own the words White Lives Matter. And they said that he failed to reach out to them to use White Lives Matter. He would have had to pay to use their trademark. See, people don't know about
That's
trademark.
so odd.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think
People don't know
that
about
is
trademarks. And I'm like,
crazy.
Kanye, why would you use
Mm.
something and not trademark it? You a billionaire, dude. It's $2,000.
Right.
It's $2,000 to trademark something. You didn't take $2,000
Right.
to trademark White Lives Matter, but you just gonna use it like that and thought nobody was gonna trademark it and get you? So yeah. Anyway, that was a little off topic.
Yeah.
But thank you so
Yeah.
much for sitting with
No,
me,
thank you so much.
talking to me. You were so great. You have great personality. You have great intellect. You have a great voice, great speaking presence. I don't see why, like I said, you're going to be successful as a social media influencer. Great. It'd be great.
Or maybe something else. Or
But yeah,
or
so
something more. I don't know. Like sky's the limit. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
exactly, exactly. And that's the thing. The sky is the limit. It opens doors. People start to see you, and then you start to get opportunities. Opportunities. Oh, come do this. Come be a pit.
Yeah.
Come be part of. I'm gonna speak this for you. Come be part of the pit crew on RuPaul's Drag Race because we need hot physical personal trainers on RuPaul's Drag Race in the pit crew.
Throw it out there. Let's put that in the ring. Let's put it in the universe.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You have heard the vocal stylings of this amazing man who lives in Texas, driven by Darrien, Mr. Darrien Harris. Say goodbye, but don't hang up.
All right. Oh well. Thanks for everyone. Yeah, goodbye. Oh, and thank you so much for having me. Also, I really enjoyed this interview and everything like that, but did not know what to expect really, but it was so much better than I expected. And like I said, with you, I know great things are headed your way.
Thank you.
I just feel that. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Hold on.
All right.
So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my